Hola, bienvenidos al news stream. I swear I could speak perfect Spanish, but this is the news stream. I realize that I don't have much news, but that's sort of a good thing because this video will be short. Don't have much to show. Swole guy telling you to go to the gym. Oh, so I always do bring up this issue where I really believe that it's a very messed up take, but in my belief and in my opinion, I believe that Israel is used as a PTSD playground in order to take people there to show them around these religious artifact locations and to some degree impart on them a sort of trauma that relates to experiencing that level of whatever goes on in the Middle East, especially bombings, air raids, all this other stuff. But that interview is harsh, so I don't want to show it. We also have Whole Foods CEO John Mackey concerned that socialists are taking over. Obviously, especially the people that shop at his store. John Bolton embarrassed at the low price for his assassination. So I'm not sure how many people know, but there are websites that will have hits, will have prices, and will have a variety of I guess it's in cryptocurrency still. I don't even know what they're using nowadays. I'm pretty sure it's like Monero or something. But yeah, there are prices for the assassination of certain people, and it's why there's certain no-fly zones if you are a person of national interest. We have a kangaroo trying to break into the Russian embassy in Australia. Just thought it was funny. I shared this fucked up video of this lady saying some weird shit. Actually, should I show it? I don't know. Should I show it?
If dogs could talk, what would they say?
White Caucasian people should accept their extinction, and your over-reliance on in vitro fertilization and your use of birth control pills is really astounding in the world.
Okay.
Don't know if you heard that. I don't know what I broke, but I broke something. Full video of us being denied access at a water park where we arrived. This family apparently organized this whole event, rented out the whole park, got their own security, got everything, and they were still denied access to this park. Not sure why, but I decided to share it. This is a very interesting Bible. Now I actually do want to show this.
This Bible from 1813 has something very interesting. It is a facts page that contains a list of people and events in chronological order. It says, whereupon we reckon that from Adam unto Christ are 3,947 years, 6 months and 10 days. And from the birth of Christ to this present year is 1814 years. Then the whole sum and number of years, from the beginning of the world unto this present year is 5,788, 6 months, and the said odd 10 days. In the year 1814 the world really was 5,788 years old. People and events in chronological order. This Bible from 1813 has something very interesting. It is a facts page that contains a list of people and events in chronological order. It says, whereupon we reckon that from Adam unto Christ are 3,947 years.
I realistically only wanted to bring up this Bible and the discrepancy of the years is because there is a new growing consensus amongst certain tinfoil hatists. You can see the shadow of the camera on me. What the fuck? That to some degree, history has been manipulated, and certain pictures are taken out of I don't know how to say this. History books, not so much. Like, there's a lot of old pictures of San Francisco that do not add up. If you look at the population numbers, and if you look at the houses, and if you look at certain buildings and how much of it was already built out, it gets really sketchy. And this is a Bible from the 1813. So there is an assumption that it was around the turn of the century that we could assume that the Ford Foundation with the Carnegies and the Rockefeller Foundation to some degree had a hand to play in the editing of history. Or at least that's kind of why I wanted to show the video. Oh, and I've already showed this video because I made a whole video about it.
You told us you had ordered your administration to cease and desist on payments to journalists to promote your agenda. You cited the need for ethical concerns and the need for a bright line between the press and the government. Your administration continues to make the use of video news releases, which are prepackaged news stories sent to television stations, fully aware that some or many of these stations will air them without any disclaimer that they are produced by the government. Comptroller General of the United States this week said that raises ethical questions. Does it raise ethical questions about the use of government money to produce stories about the government that wind up being aired with no disclosure that they were produced by the government?
So, like I said, this brings up the very notion of the understanding of controlling the narrative, controlling what you say, controlling what is said. This goes why it's important to understand public image, because it goes into the distortion of how the public understands these issues by and large. But, moving on. We got this video was great. These men create weak men. And it's basically her interviewing this guy who he basically cops out and says like, "Oh, I'm a man. I'm not a woman, and because of that, I won't have a say in my daughter's life." And I'm like, say that one more time. Like, what do you mean you won't have a say in your daughter's life? I believe personally that it's important that a dad actually has his opinion on certain decisions that his daughter makes. But that's just me. I can't remember why I shared this video because it was entirely vague. I remember watching it and it was just... Hold on, let me see it again.
Since I became Attorney General, I have made clear that the Department of Justice will speak through its court filings and its work. Just now, the Justice Department has filed a motion in the Southern District of Florida to unseal a search warrant and property receipt relating to a court-approved search that the FBI conducted earlier this week. That search was of premises located in Florida belonging to the former president. The department did not make any public statements on the day of the search. The former president publicly confirmed the search that evening, as is his right.
I guess it's just the Department of Justice adding words to the raid that happened. Oh, this is a DeSantis clip.
Hi, this is Governor Ron DeSantis. As we begin the new...
And he basically, this is very interesting, he's reorganizing the education system in Florida, which is unheard of. And something that I understand very well about the education system, that America controls the education system of all of Latin America. All of it. If you look at somebody named Jose Vasconcelos, when he was the Secretary of Education, he had to resign because he refused to organize and style the Mexican education system alongside with whatever he was given on... It was like, I can't remember the name of the individual, but it was in part by the Democratic Party that told him, like, no, this is the way you're going to organize your education system. And it hasn't changed since. And because it hasn't changed since, guess what? The education in Mexico is 2 years advanced from the American education. And they teach far broader subjects, but that's a whole other issue. Yeah, but it's a third world country. I always hear that. Anyway. Leaked files expose how U.S. pediatricians accuse their own professional body of pushing harmful drugs-first approach to trans teens. So one of the reasons why I should have known that one of my ex-girlfriends was a big red flag was that she was supporting her niece in transitioning and doing all this dumb shit. I was very naive at the time. Either way, moving on. Here we have Jon Stewart. Should I show that clip? Nah, you should go to my Instagram, frog_bearish. Really long, 3 minutes. Rather not. The Madness of Groupthink, an article written by Zero Hedge. I don't know if anybody watches that. Alright, because this is what the video I wanted to get to. Here we have Italy. In Italian Piedmont, there has been a mysterious loss of livestock. You know what happens? A veterinarian comes by, gives their daily roundup of medical treatment, and this is something very interesting because I remember this happening. I don't remember if it was in America or if it was Denmark, but they were showing videos of just the people finding dead livestock, and made no sense. But you know, the FDA, like, they're a needed organization. They were called the Bureau of Chemistry back in the day. What are you talking about? Here we have some dude. This is what you call geared up. You know what I'm saying? Suited and booted. Oh, famous people when they said too much. I'll play a bit of this. This is actually very entertaining.
Thousands of government-sponsored experiments did take place at hospitals, universities, and military bases around our nation. The goal was to understand the effects of radiation exposure on the human body. Scientists injected plutonium into 18 patients without their knowledge. In another, doctors exposed indigent cancer patients to excessive doses of radiation, a treatment from which it is virtually impossible that they could ever benefit. The report also demonstrates that these and other experiments were carried out on precisely those citizens who count most on the government for its help, the destitute.
Saying too much, especially, right? There was already an instance of a president saying that, oh yeah, this experiments went too far. Who was the guy that approved them? Who's the guy that approved them? How much you want to bet it was Fauci, because he's been the fucking director since Ronald Reagan or Nixon? Can't remember. Either way. Oh, penny stocks. All right. Again, this is not a financial show. I am not a financial advisor. I just thought I should say that for this next clip.
Remember those two companies that Paul Pelosi Jr. is on the board of? Well, guess what? One of them is up 45%. And the other is up 50% in just 5 days. Now, the two companies are penny stocks, so they're extremely risky. But if you were to buy them, you probably shouldn't throw that much money in them. And I'm building an app that allows you to automatically track and copy trade.
And that's when I stopped the video. But yeah, we're, again, another instance of the Pelosi family benefiting from being in a position of government. Oh, wait, I should turn this off. Here we have Gmail is Gmail is now officially allowed to spam-proof politicians' emails. That just means that if they don't like the politician that you're getting emails from, they're going to boot you. All this sun in my face. Please make it stop. Either way, this is where green energy batteries are from. Oh yeah, this is from Vice, but yeah, whatever. It is.
This is raw cobalt ore taken straight from the mines by hand from these artisanal miners here. It just looks like rocks. Couldn't really tell that it's cobalt at all. This is what everyone's after.
Because cobalt is used in all of the batteries, a variety of electronics, etc., etc. And I always found it incredibly funny that these miners are getting paid pennies. And since Immortal Technique lives internally in my head, he always brings up that by and large, we don't get the cheap labor. The only people that get the cheap labor are politicians, corporatists, people who own corporations. And I'm just, you know what? I'm going to turn off the filter. Yep, turn on the green screen. Because all this sun in my face is making this camera look really weird, dude. Can you close the door, Danny? Thank you. It's because the flannel's like making me all hot. No, not that door, that door. Oh, now I can't be seen. Fantastic. I think I should just leave it like this. Either way, I can fix this. Hoy did hoy. Either way, I'm back to this. Where is the media viewer? Here we have TikTok. 300 TikTok ByteDance employees worked for the Chinese state media. And this is something I always bring up, that you get hired for very specific purposes because you believe in what you believe in, or you're useful for whatever position you're useful for. And, you know, it's why I always bring up that people lack education. People lack a variety of different things. And, or they lack the ability. No, not the ability. You know what I mean? Like, they were never taught to use critical thinking skills. And because there's the lack of information, lack of knowledge, and the lack of foundation that comes from public education or whatever education system that they went through, because the textbooks are booked, the way our education system's stacked and organized is cooked. There's a variety of different things which make you a useful idiot for whatever piece of advertisement or whatever ideas kind of float in your head. Pretty picture with a nice quote. Not going to read that. Here we have, you'll be able to carry a phone in pocket in future. And this is in April 18th, 1963 in Mansfield, Ohio News Journal. And I think this is a product of something that I don't know if it's a popular idea, but I tend to believe that there are what you call pockets of civilization that to some degree are controlled. Because I remember hearing an idea that certain education systems and certain, I think it was the disparity between the education system in the neighborhoods where politicians go, right? Like if you look at where politicians live and where their children go to school, and if you look at the FBI, the CIA, they all have kids, right? They're human beings. I was about to use the F word. Because of that, their education system is far more advanced than every other education system in the entire US. So it's kind of like, oh, so they're manipulating their budgets, they're manipulating their teachers, like what's going on here? And it's just by and large that they emphasize a greater importance on teaching this specific populace instead of the rest of the world because X, Y, or Z reason. So it leaves a very big disparity between very well-educated individuals and individuals who aren't that educated. And this is why I think that this phone technology was probably to some degree unveiled here because a scientist lived there or the guy who conceived of the concept lived there. You know, X, Y, or Z. There's a variety of reasons. And then I wanted to show this video that was kind of weird.
All right, a lot of TikTokers asked me to provide the video of the water bubbling, okay? Not only did I provide that, I also provided you where you can see smoke coming from the power plant, the nuclear power plant that is right there on the Hudson, okay? Also, after doing research and reading about this, scientists, the CDC and all of them, they are baffled by this. They have no clue of why this is happening, okay? Now, you know, there are questions. There is a nuclear power plant, but what does the nuclear power plant have to do with this, and what did they do underground, okay? Because this is definitely coming from underground. It has to be. Where else would it be coming from? And they're also saying that the water was very, very extremely warm, okay? So that means it's at a boiling point, and that means that something is about to pop. And
okay, big disclaimer. I don't know if that's actually true or not, but the place that I got this video from wasn't actually from Telegram. I got this video from a YouTube channel that I typically watch that follows what I consider a variety of capture the flag games / psyop / disclosure weird accounts that post really weird shit, and typically everything that they post will come true months later down the road. One of those weird accounts that you just gotta follow and know what you're looking at. But a few months ago, right around the time that the Cyber Polygon stuff was kind of blowing up, I think it was like 2 to 3 months afterwards, these Riddler accounts were describing, you know, those air siren horns, those emergency World War II sirens, like the emergency systems, and they were just blasting these alarms in a variety of different ways with really cryptic videos. And if you kind of understand anything about what's been going on for the last few years with the culture war, with the war against world citizens, and the reason why I say that is because this is a civil war that is not necessarily between the bounds of any nation or any flag. This is between the citizens against like the real 1%, the corporatists, the oligarchs, like the slivers of percentages of people that control the variety of wealth, resources, etc., etc. That it's essentially creating a narrative, or not creating a narrative. The way I see it is they're panicking like a 5-year-old at a supermarket, and they're destroying all of the infrastructure because you're not allowed to have it. And having deja vus with that dream that I had that a few days ago. Either way, I think this is the last clip that I actually have. Yeah, pretty much. This was Ramirez. Yeah, watch. I'll probably do another one of these on Sunday if I get enough news. If not, it'll probably be Wednesday. As usual, I probably will upload stuff to the journal just to keep embarrassing myself because I am maximum cringe. Thanks for stopping by. Have a good weekend. Right? Today's Friday, right?